If I sound different, that is because whenever I went to work yesterday, and the reason I did not upload was after getting punched in the face by about 3 TVs, a 60-inch hitting me in my glasses, a 53 hitting me on my forehead, and one, I think, knocking me in my teeth. I had my anxiety and my BDPD act up. Now, if you guys don't know what BDPD is, it's borderline dissociative personality disorder. It basically means you feel your emotions more intensely than you should. Basically, you can go on a fit of rage and be angry for an entire hour, and then you'll break down crying, not knowing why you're crying. And after I did that, that happened toward the end of my shift. I came home with coffee and food because I did not eat yesterday, and proceeded to bash my head into a table while trying not to cry. I then spent 30 minutes in the shower, and I spent the rest of my night trying to calm down. I eventually did calm down, but whenever I did, it was already around 3 in the morning. I spent 6 hours like that. It's not fun. So in order to make up for that, I'm going to be trying to stay calm and record, because right now I'm actually getting teary-eyed. Okay. Anyways, it's not fun being like this. Now, I'm trying to be honest with you guys, but I'm just gonna go into the recording. Okay. Whenever we last left off, everyone realized that Deku has actual amount of power. So, I'll put a timestamp for you guys I won't say that in the video. I was going to put a timestamp in so you guys can skip over that, but I feel like it's just something I should have noticed or mentioned in the first part of the video. Now then, Deku has beaten Todoroki in the semifinals. Ida, against this girl, he immediately just pushed her out. Froppy and Mina, that fight ended with Froppy winning. Dark Shadow and Tokiyami won that match, so the day gets longer, so the sun would have probably been overhead during their battle, so shining directly into the arena. So I want to say Froppy would win because Dark Shadow would have gotten weaker, because as the sun would be directly overhead, there's no place for Dark Shadow to stay in except for Tokiyami's cloak. Bakugo versus Kirishima. That fight would go how you expect. Bakugo would win. Deku versus Todoroki. Deku versus Ida. That's what I'm trying to say. That fight would go with Deku winning, because as soon as Ida would have tried to fully, he would have been just running around the ring trying to avoid Deku, but anytime he would have stopped and turned around, Deku would just immediately disappear and then reappear right behind him, tapping him on the shoulder and messing around with him. Deku's being very playful with the way he's doing it, and a lot of heroes are commenting on how that seems kind of unnecessary, but he's essentially acting like a predator with his prey. He's playing with his food. Now, after that, this is whenever Deku, he would eventually tell Ida that he just give up, because he can just knock him out of the ring, and he really does not want to have to hurt you. I really don't have to hurt you, Ida, but I will if it means that If you don't give up, I will punch you out of the ring. Ito would say that he's not fast enough to punch him out of the ring. And as soon as Ito would have tried using his reciprocal burst, Deku would have immediately just grabbed him by the shirt collar as he would have tried running past him, and just immediately throw him into a wall, knock him through it, and out of the ring. Now, Bakugo versus Deku in the finals. Wait, Froppy is still in this. Froppy versus Bakugo. She could probably just... Okay, that just brought up a question to me. How strong is Froppy's jumping abilities? Because I want to say she could probably break a couple of ribs actually kicking someone in the chest. That's a bit extreme, though. Bakugo is short and medium range. Froppy is long distance and has maneuverability against Bakugo. Bakugo beat Dark Shadow, so yeah, let's just say Bakugo won and bring him into the finals. Now, Bakugo would have told Deku that not to hold back against him because he is going to beat him and show that even he can take down a villain pretending to try and be a hero. Now then, Deku would tell Bakugo that he's no villain. And if you really want to see a villain, I'll show you what I learned in my 2 weeks. Oh, what the heck? He finally brought that out. That's a what if I think everyone loves. But, now then. One thing that happens for the finals is Deku doesn't have his hero suit, but he would then initiate a move he calls Blackout. He would ask Bakugo, "It's a real nice day, isn't it? A shame you won't be able to see it now." He would then initiate Blackout all over the arena, and then tell Bakugo that this is a technique. From reviewing the footage he got from Aizawa, he figured out how to do this technique. This is not my drawing. This guy has a watermark right here. It's a really good drawing, so I'm using it. And it's not mine. But this is one of the Google stock images I found whenever I looked up Deku. Meliodis' assault mode. It's a very good picture, and I really do like it. Plus, the move I'm giving Deku actually does fit with this picture. He would surround the entire area in darkness, and everyone's confused, and people can barely see the ring, let alone inside the ring. This is whenever everyone would just hear screams and explosions. Now then, one thing Deku does is after he turns off the blackout, all you see is Bakugo laying in the ring in an entire puddle of darkness. And he's telling Bakugo that, "You call me a villain, yet you scream die. You call me a villain, yet you always insult people and scream at them, even when they try and help you. Hell, I think you're even gonna scream at the people you try and save. This is gonna be your downfall, and this is your sin." Bakugo, you are nothing. You are a villain pretending to be a hero, and you try and brush that off because of your quirk. You see yourself as above everyone else because your quirk is flashy. It's strong. But my quirk is stronger. It's deadlier. It's more. It has more raw power than your little explosions. Now, listen to what I'm saying and understand these words. Keep them with you for as long as you live. You are never going to beat me, Bakugo. I am on a different level than you. You need to learn to relax and actually hold a conversation with someone without screaming at them. If you can do that, then you might become a decent hero. Because what would happen if you scream at someone you're trying to save and they end up getting injured or worse? You aren't going to be seen as a hero. You're going to be seen as some dude with a quirk who thought he could help people, who just got somebody killed or injured. Now, you need to learn. After that, Deku would then just throw Bakugo. Now then, after that, Deku would just throw Bakugo out of the ring. Now, if you guys are noticing some cuts that don't sound perfect, that is because the recording keeps stopping on me. Now then, let's go over to Aizawa and all the heroes watching this. A lot of them are commenting that Deku did, in fact, stop. Well, he did win the sports festival, but albeit in a very, very villainous way. And not just that, All Might would appear somewhat reluctant to approach Deku, crowning him the winner. And whenever All Might asks Deku if he has any words he would like to say to the audience watching, Deku would just tell them that he would then smile, saying that his quirk may be villainous, but he has the best interest in becoming a hero. Now, don't always think that you need to smile. You don't want to be the next All Might. You don't want to be the next imposter. You don't need to be a hero for the fame. You need to do it to help people, because that's what being a hero truly is. You need to be strong enough to help people, but know when to help yourself. Not just... What I mean by help yourself is know whenever your own self is... Understand when you need to help yourself when someone else needs help. Some people may not want your help, but you just need to know when they do. He would then smile, put his hand up and saying plus ultra, and everyone would start cheering because he actually was smiling the whole time while saying this. Now then, let's cut to the internships. Deku would take on an internship with a hero at an agency called... Well, let's just say that the agency is called the 10 Commandments, and they are going to be a hero agency, and their quirks are going to be similar to this... Oh my god, hang on. Oh. My bad. One of my dogs started barking. Anyways, their quirks are going to be similar, but they're going to be less... They're not going to be as powerful as the 10 Commandments and the 7 Deadly Sins. They're going to be toned down, but they're still going to be quite powerful quirks. In this hero agency, they don't try to be the number one heroes. They're just an agency in Hosu City. that Deku takes. Now, whenever he gets there, he would meet Estarossa. And Estarossa is quite a happy man, is a giant, very tall and happy man with a ponytail. And he would welcome Deku by trying to throw a punch at him as soon as he walked through the door. Now, as soon as Deku would have gone to throw a punch back, this is whenever he cannot move at all. He would then drop to his knees and feel paralyzed. He is confused because he doesn't know what's going on. Estarossa would just tell Deku that this is his quirk. It's not that different from the way your quirk works. That is why I sent you an internship. In fact, I'm quite interested to learn more about your quirk. It seems that it works off of anger, and anyone with ill will towards me cannot fight me, let alone stand to me. A lot of the other commandments would walk up and introduce themselves. Okay, I'm going to cut this. But, anyways, after that, okay, I'm not cutting it, but after that, this is whenever some of them would introduce themselves saying that the way their quirks work, it works like the exact commandments from the Christian religion. This is what their quirks are all based off of. They all met around the same time, within the same 3-span year at UA. So they decided to form an agency together. Now, they were actually one of the top agencies, so this is why Deku actually picked their agency. He would train with the Estarossa and a lot of the Ten Commandments for this whole time, actually developing quite a relationship with a lot of them. Now, he actually does like them because they understand his quirk and how dangerous it actually is. Now, I don't have the list for the Ten Commandments on me or at all, but I will. I will get it in the next part before then, because I didn't really think about drawing it up, and it's now just coming to me that I should have. Okay. Deep breaths. Anyways, Deku would go out with Estarossa for a patrol, and it would be on the day. They would go out and they would see a lot of the Nomu, and Estarossa would immediately. He would be told by Deku about the Nomus during the USJ attack, because they would have asked about his scar. Deku would have said that it's Nomu. Estarossa would have taken them down quite easily, because as soon as they would drop to their knees, Estarossa would use his speed, because he is actually quite fast, to actually kill the Nomu. Now, Ida is actually in the alley, and Deku would show up. Ida's telling Deku not to interfere, because this is not any of his business. Deku would tell Ida that you're an idiot, you know that, right? He would then turn to Stain, asking Stain to hold on right there. And this is whenever he would walk over to Native and actually give him some bandages and patch him up, telling him that this won't hold for quite a while, so he's going to take down this villain and actually I'll get you to a hospital as soon as I can. Just please don't bleed out. Stain is confused by this, saying that that's quite noble that he recognized someone was in danger and came to help his friend, but it's worthless. No, Deku would say that it's not worthless unless you make it worthless, and he's wearing this thing, and he would actually reach for his spikes. Now, as soon as he would throw a handful of them at Stain, covered in the darkness, Stain would actually immediately just block all these, and Deku would rush him, pinning him to a wall with his arm. Now, Stain is trying to cut at Deku's arms, but as soon as a blade makes contact, it immediately just snaps in half. Deku would tell him that there's no way for him to do that because his quirk relies on his emotions, the way he's feeling angry. He does kind of surprised because Deku's actually a bit more calmer, and he's not holding a smile, but he's not holding an emotionless face. Estarossa would show up and actually render Stain immobile after he tried to attack him. And the Stain attack would be concluded that a student from UA along with a hero from an agency actually took down the hero killer and saved a student who violated his internship license and stopped the hero from dying. Now, that is where I'm going to leave this part off, but I hope you guys do understand why I was not able to post yesterday. In fact, during this whole recording, whenever my recording stops, I noticed my hands have actually been clenching up in a fist and unclenching, and my hands have actually been quite more shaky than usual. Now then, before I go, an explanation as to what BDPD is one of my managers, after all this happened, the way I was acting, they asked me if my PTSD was acting up, because she was actually a military veteran. Now, I told her that no, it isn't, but my BDPD is, and she didn't know what that was, and as soon as I explained it and how it and my anxiety is working against me, she immediately understood and gave me a minute to try and relax and all that, but even then, I was still like this for about an hour. Anyways, it is not fun. Because feeling emotions very intensely and taking on the emotions of some other people around you, it's very toxic, but also it leaves you to a point where you either feel emotionally numb to anything around you and you just deal with it, or not. But anyways, I'm sorry for not being able to post yesterday. It's just being like this is not fun because I really did not want to pick up my phone to record, so I've kind of just been forcing myself to record this the entire time. And I've been trying to keep myself calm by taking deep breaths, but that's not working. Anyways, I'm going to be posting this, and I hope you guys do understand. Alright, bye guys.